Folks, this is my first time driving the 2023 Toyota Venza. I've never driven one of the new ones before. I drove the old Venza, which was a station wagon version of a Camry with a little bit of a lift and all-wheel drive. This is totally different. This, as Tommy once put it in a recent video, is sort of like a bargain Lexus, because you get a really nice interior and really nice kit in this vehicle. And it's a hybrid. It only comes as a hybrid with all-wheel drive. And then I looked at it and thought, yeah, but it doesn't really do much for me. And I was trying to think about this video that I was going to put on for you and what makes this unique. And there are a couple things. First of all, this is a special Nightshade edition. This is brand new. Nightshade edition means it has 19-inch wheels that are unique. They're all blacked out, and it has blacked out badging. And that's your Nightshade. That's essentially it. Nothing wrong with that, because some people think it's a little bit more attractive. But I have something else, come on back here, that's a little bit more attractive than that. All right. First of all, there's some more black badging, XLE. It has dual exhaust. What up? Ba-bam! Dual exhaust. You don't need anything else. This is gonna wake up the neighbors. No, it's really not. And the reason it's not gonna wake up the neighbors is it's not very powerful. The reason why is because of this. When it has the blue outlines, that means hybrid. And it's not a plug-in hybrid. If it were, it'd have a lot more power. What's interesting about this is that it has the exact same powertrain as the Toyota RAV4 hybrid, not the Prime, the regular hybrid. And that is an extremely popular vehicle, one that sells out all the time. In fact, they're really hard to find right now. And they sold like 300,000 of them last year. They sold 30,000 of these last year. Not for a lack of trying, mind you. Now, what's interesting about this vehicle is that you get a lot of kit for about 40 grand. And if you were looking at a RAV4 hybrid, top of the line limited, it would cost about the same price. So, is this a better buy? That's the question. And that's the whole point of this video. So, I wanted to start in the back because this is the one spot where it's both pro and con. For one thing, I love how high the hatch goes and how easy it is to load this thing. The way they did the space in here is actually a little bit better, in my mind, than the RAV4. However, there are a couple things you should know. For one thing, yes, that is a proper spare tire. Thank the Lord. I didn't think they were going to do that in a vehicle like this because it's a hybrid and it has a battery in there. We'll talk about the battery in a second. But its cargo space, if you look in here, well, it isn't as good as the Toyota RAV4. This one has 28.8 cubic feet of space behind that row. And then if you put all the seats down, it's 55.1 cubic feet of cargo space, which isn't too bad. But the current Toyota RAV4 is noticeably more. And I think that's partially because it's a little bit more of a square, boxier vehicle. But once again, same powertrain. Speaking of which, let's go to the front. I'm gonna pop the hood for you. El Paparino. Now, a couple things to keep in mind. This is its own bespoke, unique vehicle. So it's not exactly what I would call a twin or even a cousin to the RAV4, because they're very different in terms of their structure and in terms of the way they drive. Even though they have the same exact output, basically the same exact powertrain, the RAV4 hybrid drives very differently than this. It's taller, it feels a little heftier, and it's a little bit more trucky. As a matter of fact, that RAV4 I was talking about can actually tow, I think it's like 1,700 pounds. This, they suggest you do not tow, and I can get that. Part of that has to do with the overall platform I think that this is based on, to be honest with you, because once again, same powertrain. See that orange in there? Have a look-see. That means hybrid. That means 252 volts of lithium-ion battery connect to an electric motor that makes this a hybrid. Now, as such, overall output is 219 horsepower and 163 pound-feet of torque. That is combined. And once again, same thing as RAV4. But this gives you combined 39 mpg. You can see it right there. 40 city, 37 highway. Now that's okay. There are hybrids that do better. However, one thing I noticed is that according to Toyota, it gets over 530 miles of range. That's highway. That's really good. That makes this an ideal long distance car. I would drive this back and forth to LA all the time. I have family there. But why would I want to drive a car like this back and forth to LA? Well, I could show you if you go into the interior. Come on in. Oh yeah. Now this is the selling point of the car, not the powertrain. Once again, you can get the powertrain on other vehicles. But this is nice. When Tommy reviewed this, he swore up and down that it was like a discount Lexus in terms of its interior quality, fit and finish, feel, and he's not wrong. As much as I like to say he's wrong, he's not. I go back and forth on this screen, this whole setup. The stereo system's actually quite good. Let me turn this down so we don't get sued. There we go. And this is, it kind of looks a little bit like an afterthought to me, to be honest with you, the way they put the screen in, but it blends nicely into the interior, and it's a nice enough overall look to where I think that it gives it a premium feel. Not thrilled with this. There are no buttons here, but that's kind of the modern thing. I love the stitching here too. It's quite nice. But I do like the fact there's a proper gear lever here, thank you. And we have over here the drive modes. You can put it in EV mode, and when I do that, it should shut the engine off. Let me hit it. Yep, it's off. You can go very slow, a couple miles in all EV mode. The pricing is right over here, $38,930. The big price here that makes it expensive is, if you look straight up, the panoramic sunroof, $1,400. So you take all that and you put in delivery, which is $1,335. Total comes to $41,665. Now, I went online before I drove this, and I decided to build myself a fully equipped, limited version of the Toyota RAV4 hybrid, and I came up to almost the same price. This is a nicer driving, quieter, more comfortable, more luxurious vehicle over the Toyota RAV4. The Toyota RAV4 has a much more rugged feel to it, and it is a more rugged vehicle, just it is. So that's where this thing shines. That would do it for me. You know, if I was looking for something like this, a commuter around town. It gets great mileage. For the price, you get a lot of stuff. It's a Toyota. Toyota quality is kind of part of the whole sales thing. And you're getting what is considered a tried and true powertrain, which moves. Yeah, that's over 200 horsepower, man. I mean, we're going quick. It's really comfortable. It's really quiet. It's really smooth. If somebody was looking for an alternative to the Toyota RAV4 but really wanted a Toyota and didn't want to get a Hyundai and they didn't want to get something from Honda, this might be a really good alternative. One final point I wanted to make about this vehicle, and I'm being completely honest, this would be ideal for someone like my wife, but she likes a manual transmission and she likes to have fun. Yeah, there it is. Thanks for joining me for the Fast Lane Car. This is Nathan. See you later.